How's it going, ladies and gents? Zoop here, and today I am bringing you a preview of the Tier 10 IJN Cruiser Yoshino. This is a heavy cruiser, almost battle cruiser ship, similar to Azuma, Alaska, Stalingrad, Kronstadt, and that line of ships. It's not often that I jump into a ship and immediately feel a solid connection. Usually it takes a few warm-up rounds to understand the nuances of a ship, to get the feel of a ship down before I can play optimally in her. Yoshino was different. Right off the bat, she fit like a glove. One can interpret that in a few different ways. Maybe the ship is just the right fit for my playstyle in that type of ship. Or, perhaps, it's a sign that she's fairly strong. The jury's still out on that, but I can say that I am thoroughly enjoying playing her. First, some stats on the Yoshino. 61,800 hit points, which is a fair amount, but not Stalingrad level crazy. 310mm guns with a range of 21.35 kilometers as tested. Your HE shells have a 31% fire chance with Demo Expert and a max damage of 5100. AP has 8650 max damage. Both shells fly at 836 meters per second and are pretty accurate. Reload is 17.6 seconds, and that's with main battery mod 3. I got concealment down to 11.9 kilometers with concealment mod 1 and concealment expert. This is very generous for a ship of that size. AA isn't too shabby, and you have a choice of defensive fire or hydro in consumable slot 2. With superintendent and premium consumables, you get 4 heals. Top speed with Sierra Mikes is 35.7 knots, rudder shift is 12 seconds on mine, which I put steering gears mod 2 on, and your turning radius is 920 meters. She is a big, slow turning ship, but she's quick at full speed. Now, torpedoes. You've got 2 quad launchers on each side with some very generous angles. The angles are similar to French cruisers, and the torps are stout, 62 knots with 20-kilometer range. They hit at a shade under 21,000 hit points. Reload is 160 seconds with no skills or mods. So let's talk about this baby. Her HE hits like a tank. If you want, you can solely use her HE and you will do just fine. Her fire chance is high and you'll cause a lot of fires on top of significant HE impact damage. It's interesting because, as always, some of us CCs like the ship, think it's extremely strong, whereas others don't seem to care for it at all. Zhao is always thrown into the conversation, and one might ask why you wouldn't take the faster and quicker reloading Zhao over this ship. I find that the ships are not comparable to each other. They are 2 very different ships for 2 different playstyles. Think of the Yoshino in some ways as a mini Yamato that slings HE instead of tree-sized shells. You can play her at range and keep ships at bay quite comfortably. Her HE will make battleships think twice about pushing. Of course, that's not to say her AP is useless. In fact, her AP hits very hard too, so don't forget you have it. On the flip side, you can play this ship a little more like Zhao if you want, on account of that wonderful concealment. But this works better if you know there are no DDs around to spot you. You can get pegged fairly easily in this ship. Your armor is strong, but only so. Battleships can still citadel you at odd angles. The ace in the hole with this ship, though, is its torpedoes. The torpedoes have very generous reach, and that's an understatement. It allows you to use it both as an offensive and defensive weapon. Offensively, I must urge caution, though. Due to their reach, you might have the tendency to sling further out than you should, inadvertently putting teammates at risk. Destroyers are the fear here, as when they shift from cap to cap, they might come into your torpedoes' range. You just need to watch out, that's all. Again, your angles on these torps are great for the frontal launcher. Defensively, the torps work great as area denial. I had a round where we lost our flank. It was a losing battle, but meandering from side to side, launching from port to starboard and back and forth, I was able to slow the advance down of the enemy team just a little bit, inflicting damage in the process and staying completely undetected with my 11.9 kilometer concealment. I almost finished a Yami off in the end as well, but sadly I had to beach to get an angle on him. Well, maybe I didn't have to beach, but it happened anyways. But I digress. The Yoshino is a strong ship. I've yet to have a bad game in her. She kites very well, but she can also go on the offensive and attack well as well. Of course, it's all playstyle dependent, and this ship is subject to change. Personally, I think she's a strong ship. She played stronger for me than most ships. Other CCs feel she's fine to roll out the door as is. At first, when I played her, I thought she wouldn't make it into the game as is on account of how powerful she is. I've seen some of the other CCs throw up close to 300,000 damage in her. But as with every ship, it's all player and skill dependent. It's what you like. I, for one, am very excited about this ship. You should be too. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Zoup out.